You are watching Co-op for Two. We're continuing our playthrough of the Legacy of Dragonholt campaign. This should be episode 10. We're still on day 6 in Dragonholt Village. In the previous episode, we went on a quest and fought a dragon, returned its egg to them, and got very little reward for it, except our own inner satisfaction. But it's now evening on day 6 in the village. We're going to wrap up this evening. Should be fairly quiet. We've done this heroic deed, but somehow we didn't get much. Got one little fame for it. I thought it was going to be more. Could have killed the dragon. I think that would have gotten us some dragon blood that we could have had made into a potion. And it would have been nice to get some money, some reward for it. But we didn't, so we have no money. And it's evening. Okay. So what can we do in the evening? We've got 4 more time. We actually have quite a bit of time. We're down very low on stamina. We have 3 stamina. We have 1 more healing potion, but that's not even enough to get us to full. In the morning, we'll probably recover some of our stamina. So I'd rather not use that healing potion today. And we do have another experience. So we could get another skill. Oh, wait a second. We got a bunch of heroism and I said it was maxed out. But it's actually not maxed out because this continues here. So we can get more. So I suppose ideally 4275. Where did we get the heroism from that I said we were maxed out? I'm going to give us 3 heroism. I'm not sure if we got quite that much. We might have only gotten 2. Seems unlikely that we'll get up to this anyway. But maybe. Not important. Alright, so it's evening. Most of the places are closed, but there are a couple places that are open. And there are a couple... Are there places we haven't been yet? There's no place we haven't been, but there are places we haven't been in a while, right? And I did want to go back outside and see if we couldn't find the catfolk people. But I feel like evening is not the right time to do it. But I guess we could take a look. There's no harm in going out there and having a look. 1590. So let's go look at what it tells us is out there. If it's day 3, if it's day 6, it is day 6, and M2 is marked. Okay, so M2 is not marked. If it's day 6 and 6 or more time has passed and M2 is marked, wow. So there's a whole story we could go on if M2 was marked, but M2 wasn't even marked. But alright, well, we'll never know what that is because on day 7 there's nothing to do out here. So 1590, there's no point ever coming back here on another day. Nothing is happening. Day 3, day 3, day 6. Okay, well, that's it. There's nothing out here. And no reason to come back. Alright, where else could we try going? Could try going to the village green in the evening. Let's try that. Village green, a fire pit. It's day 6. 3 human boys, laughing and crying at the same time, run past you, pursued by an irate goat that smells of burning hair. A dog races happily after, barking in general excitement, as if pleased to see some action for a change. In only a moment, the entire parade is gone, pelting down the market row and out of sight, if for or less time. Otherwise, nothing is happening here. Okay, that's that. Let's try going to the Chatty Archer, because I don't even remember if we've ever been there before. That may have been a missed opportunity. An archery hut lies under a maple tree outside this rustic lodge-style tavern. Several hours are stuck within it, and others stand point down. Oh yeah, we were here. If 4 more time has passed, okay, it's 4 more times. So on our notes, we'd say the archery is after 4. We can go there at night. Should really transfer that to a better thing. Okay, 6th day. A collection of rough-looking men and women with a below-standard number of eyes, fingers, and limbs between them shares stories of their adventures in the wilds. Hunter, the barkeep, listens with half an ear as a woman with a bearskin cloak resting on the back of her chair describes her own close encounter with a dragon some years ago and 100 leagues to the east. 6232. Hunter nods at you as you enter, then goes back to cleaning his bar. Theodore leans back and places his knife flat on the counter and sighs. You know, that reminds me of a story. So we can get something to eat for 5. Or we can listen to the story. We do have... Okay, I'm going to get something to eat for 5 gold. Since we only have 10 and we need stamina. For 5 gold. 8054. I'm hoping you can still listen to the story, though. I guess we can always go back in there. We each recover 2 stamina. Okay. So now we're up to 5 stamina. Guess every bit counts. 8054. Lei, a dark-haired woman with a soft smile, places a wooden plate in front of you, piled high with steaming, delicious-smelling food. You dig in and find it hearty and filling. When you clean your plate, you release an enormous sigh of contentment. As you loosen your belt, you notice a sign hanging on the wall with a simple, expressive figure of an archer. Archers drink free, the sign reads. Ask about our archery challenge. So we can listen to a story or ask Hunter about the archery challenge. Let's do that. Maybe we can make some money. Since we do have archery skills. No time passing, right? 1724. Oh, it's easy, says Hunter with a smile. You saw the bow over the door on your way in. All you have to do is take that bow and hit the bullseye. You get 3 tries, and if you manage it, you drink for free all night. Tell him the catch, says Hunter's dark-haired wife as she delivers a tray of dirty dishes. If it's so easy, why do you only have to give out the prize once a year? Well, the catch is that you don't get to try until you've already started drinking, he chuckles. But you've already finished your meal, so are you game? We can try it out, or maybe not that. All right, let's try it out. 9477. Nine, 4, 7, 7. You go outside and Hunter pulls down the bow over the door. A long piece of ash that seems quite well made to your eye. It also seems a little worse for the weather. Hunter inspects it, sighs, and unstrings the bow. Just a moment, he says. Wouldn't want the string to give while you're holding it. He slides a fresh bowstring from within his tunic, then restrings the bow with a grunt. All right, he says. He points to a spot near the door. You stand there. Then he sinks 3 arrows into the earth at your side. Those are your 3 tries. You take the bow and your first arrow. Like the bow, the arrows have been warped and abused by their constant exposure to the weather. You're starting to see why the challenge is so difficult. When you knock the arrow and draw, you realize the other reason practically no one succeeds. The draw weight on this bow must be 5 stone. Your arms wobble and burn just drawing back your first shot. If story point 08 is marked, no, it's not. Otherwise, 1996. Okay, we don't have strength, so 1996. Your arrow flies well wide of the butt. Bad luck, suggests Hunter. You take your second arrow and draw again, doing your best to correct your aim. If story points D4 and W3 are marked, D4 is marked and W3 is marked. Okay. Then 7242. Okay, don't know what those stories are, but we did mark them. With a loud and satisfying thunk, your arrow strikes the center of the butt, and a cheer goes up from the gaggle of onlookers you didn't even realize you had. Well done, says Hunter, clapping you on the back. I'm not even sure I can make that shot these days. You are surrounded by well-wishers and celebrants as you walk back into the Chetty Archer, where Lay greets you with a tankard of stout and the money you just paid for your meal. You're the toast of the tavern for the rest of the night, and the ale keeps flowing until you decide that you better cut yourself off. 1 progress in heroism. Okay, interesting. Gain 5 gold, so we're back up to 10. Mark story point 08, which just serves to make it so we don't do this again. Time passes. Time passes in the village. Okay. Now I'm going to go there and do it all again so we can hear this story. 1996 is the arrow. 9473. Nine four seven seven is still the battle. The arrow contest. 1724. That's the. We're still in the archery. I guess I should have just started back over at the archer. I thought I'd just shortcut and go back. Okay, listen to Theodore's story. 5534. When I was a young lad, says Theodore, I used to spend hours exploring Eventide Forest. The forest was not so dangerous then as it is now, although more dangerous than I knew it then. The Tree of Tales was where I returned again and again. I always felt at peace there, knowing that so many generations of my people have been coming and telling their stories to the tree. I told my share too, never you doubt it. The old man rubs his chin, scratching at the gray stubble there. One time I got powerful hungry in the woods, so I thought I'd best rustle for some food. Now there's plenty to be had if you know what to look for, so I soon enough found a stand of blackberries that I thought would suit me just fine. But I suppose someone else had the same idea, since as soon as I started picking berries, I heard a mighty howling and a yowling, and the whole thicket shook. I fell back just as a great enormous cat with glowing green eyes burst out to land on me. The creature bounded off just as quickly, but I'd swear I saw an amber necklace on a silver chain hung around its neck. He shakes his head and picks his knife back up. That reminds me of a story. If it's day 1 or 6, 9276. 9276. But let's make a note because there is something that says if it's day 7. So return to Chetty Archer, day 7. Listen to Theodore. Maybe he's got a different story. I can't quite tell. Day 69276. Let's just see what this is. Is this just another random story? Is that why it's doing that? Theodore laughs to himself, his eyes watering as he looks off into his memories. When I was a young man, I was in love with a wonderful girl. Oh, but I was too shy, too scared to talk to her. Eventually, when we weren't so young anymore, she married a man who wasn't me. Oh, I was the tempest of anger and resentment, but then I realized that the person I was angry with wasn't him, wasn't her, it was me. I'd had my chance to tell her how I felt, and I didn't do it. So why shouldn't she marry the same man that made her happy? And he did. I saw that. Once I drunk myself stupid and gotten all my sobbing out of the way. At their wedding, well, I'd never seen her more happy, and if I was a little sad that it wasn't me making her feel that way, at least I was happy that she was happy. And when her little ones came along, well, that made me happy too. Theodore sighs. Her husband died in the war, sad to say, and by then, having fought alongside him, all I had left was grief at his passing, because I'd lost a friend, and I knew she'd lost her love too. But that was years ago. Her children are grown now, and here I am, propping up a bar and telling stories. That reminds me of another story, he says. Okay, we can listen to more of his stories. 3231. One if we want. I'm getting to the end of this though. We'll do one more. This is the same thing here. He's talking about the wooden thing. We've already returned this to him. Okay. But when we leave, time passes. Okay. So it's the end of the evening. We're in night now. Where else can we go? Have we tried the village green? I think we did, didn't we? Pretty sure we tried the village green and there was nothing of interest there. I'll look at it anyway. Day 6. If 4 or less, no, nothing interesting happened there. Let's go to the shrine. We haven't been there in a while. 2790. See if it's open during the day. Feels like we should be going to the library too. If it's day 5, no. If it's day 7, no. If story point C2 is marked, C2 is marked, 4740. The ripple of water and light gives this sanctuary an ever-changing yet always the same feel. So we can leave or we can spend some time in meditation, which is surely going to bring up our spiritual meditation. I guess since we have not much to do, we might as well. Where are we? Two 790. Why did I not write down where we went? 2790. 47, which brought us to 4740. So 3196, we're meditating a bit. You settle yourself on a rock by the pool's edge and open yourself to the experience. As you meditate, Scala silently places a candle before you, lights it, and shuffles away. You watch the candle burn down, listening to the murmuring of the spirits in the water. Mark 1, progress in spiritual meditation. If I7 is marked, but F3 isn't, so I7 isn't marked. Otherwise, time passes and it's complete. Okay. We've got one more time left. I say we go to the Swan, where we go before we go to sleep, 7400. Day 6. A loud banging sound comes from the kitchen, causing a few patrons to crane their necks and arch their brows as they try to find the source of the noise. You see Jasper walk into the kitchen, then emerge with a wooden spoon. He walks over to his aunt, and together they wrap the spoon with a quilted rag. Jasper returns to the kitchen, and the banging resumes, now muffled. You see Mal toddle past, banging on a tin pot with his newly muted spoon. Read 7049. That's cute. The swan is as pleasant and homey as ever. Sapphire and Jasper talk at a table near the kitchen, she sewing and he poring over a leather-bound ledger and a few loose leaves of paper on the table before them. When she sees you, Sapphire waves and beckons you over. So we can get something to eat. We can ask about someone or something. We can ask her to craft you magical armor if we had the war rune. There it is. That's the thing we could have done with our war rune instead of the rune sword. I really wish we could recycle that, because a shield would be 100 times more useful than the rune sword. Okay, we can return. We can get, I guess we should get something to eat to get up our health as much as we can. 6435. Why, Jasper, that sounds like an excellent chance to show him what you've got. Anything to get away from these accounts, says Jasper, pushing away from the table and fleeing into the kitchen. He returns soon with a piping hot meal, sizzling and fragrant with rich spices. He sets you at a nearby table and leaves you to eat, which you do with gusto. Eventually, you push your empty plate away and Sapphire nods. Not bad, she says to Jasper. You might have what it takes after all. So 2 stamina, and then time passes. All right, so we're now at stamina 7. Time has passed, which ends day 6. So now we read 4093. Another day in Dragonholt comes to an end. You each recover half of your maximum stamina. So that brings us to full stamina of 14. Well, that's good. You each recover 1 skill. Well, that's okay. We didn't lose any skill. You each refresh your activation. That's okay. The chapter of the story ends here. When you're ready to begin the next chapter, read 9739. Okay, so let's make a note. 9739 is day 7. Start. Nine seven three nine. Jesse, please write these things down properly. Okay, that is our shortest session of Legacy of Dragonholt. Just to sort of calm before the storm of our final day. So it makes sense to have a nice short episode. Then we'll go on to the final 7th day at Dragonholt, which I assume we're going to play this long quest. But maybe I'm wrong. You'll have to wait until the next episode to find out. And I will see you then.